How do I find a micro influencer? So you just said one, like I could be at a trade show, I could go to a speaker. Are there any digital scalable ways to collect up micro influencers that I might be able to work with?
Yeah, there's strategy. I mean, the strategy you're using right now is a way to engage me. Like when you think of me, you're really more top of mind than you were last year, Eric. So it's like,
Right.
you doing a strategy like this when you reached out, engaged and stuff. We'd start working together in a way like this. Like I said, to get a macro influencer to do what you just would be very, very hard. So you start doing that,
Sure.
see who will reach out, see who you can partner. But you got to think it's not sometimes you're not going to have a personal connection. So you have to think what is valuable to them. And I look at when you're trying to build it, when you run into them at events, like naturally, a lot of times they're sitting down. Like don't come up to them after their speech. Worst time to talk to a micro or macro influencer because they're the celebrity there in that moment. It's not going to like the time is like when you're in the hallway, when you see them on
Mm-hmm.
a couch, when you get access to a speaker room, when you do that, like that's great. Anything in person, getting intros from friends who trust them. There will be somebody where you'll run across them like, oh, I know this person really well. It's like, dude, I'd love an intro. Way of passing trust there. Those are ways to go. I mean, doing deals where like influencers like audience building. So, like for example, I would say, hey, would love to cover you in our a couple of our blogs, like calendar.com, for example, syndicates to Entrepreneur, MSN, and I'll say, hey, we'd love to cover you on our blog. We got great syndication deals, and they're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, let's start that, and I'll go cover them. They'll start seeing traction to their site and they're like, dude, this was great. How can I help you, man? And it's like, great. Like, let's do that. There's tons of ways you can naturally do it. You got to understand what they value and then put things in place that you can offer. Now, sometimes it is just money. But then I would encourage you to find the ones that you can deal with. You can say, hey, this is going to be a couple $1,000s and not a 10, 20, $30,000 to engage or 50,000. Because like I would rather spend 20 let's say $20,000 on 10 micro influencers than one that's 20 without proving them.